Now then, my friends, quick video for you today because I'm actually in Warrington and I'm heading back over to Leeds. And if you're thinking of buying an electric car, that's right, an EV, then you need to watch this video and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Now, I think I've got about 64% left in this vehicle. We're heading over to Leeds, going to give it a quick boost charge along the way on some fast chargers there, and we're going to see what it takes to get from here in Warrington over to Leeds and what percentage it takes. And I've got a few interesting facts for you along the way. If you're new to the channel, don't forget, like, subscribe and click that little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos. Now, without further ado, my friends, let's go. Right, okay, so if you're thinking of buying an electric car, then got a little bit of information for you. Now, I've done some videos on electric cars before and journeys where I've gone from England to Scotland, and I've had people going nuts in the comment section who's got electric cars going, you're not doing it right, he's not doing it right because he charged it before it was 80%, but it doesn't always work that way because I needed to get from A to B, and when I got to point B, I needed to get back again. And if I'd have not charged over 80% where it charges slower, I wouldn't have gone back because the actual charging unit on point B wasn't working, which I foresaw before I left, which is a good job that I did. So I had to charge it over 80%, which is slower. So there's all these different
things. After 300 yards, leave the roundabout at the third exit and continue to follow the A57 towards Zurlum.
Oh, where? Zurlum? So basically, that's why I needed to fill it or charge it to more than 80%. There's all these things to take into consideration, and apparently electric cars are the future. My opinion, and it is just my opinion.
Please leave the roundabout at the third exit.
Turn it down. Be quiet. I personally don't think they are the future because at the moment the infrastructure isn't there, as I've actually said. And think about this. Here's a little bit of information for you, okay? So, you go into a motorway service station at the moment. Normally it's only a splash and dash, isn't it, actually? Because you don't want to pay the prices of the fuel on a motorway service station. However, think of how many cars are in there at one time, okay? You've probably got 8 to 10 cars in there, each 5 minutes per piece, where they fill up with the fuel, they go in, they get a Mars bar, come back out again, or a coffee or whatever, and get in the car and go. You imagine if everybody was electric vehicles, EVs, how long it would take, because you're going to be at a charging station for at least, at the most, half an hour to 40 minutes if you're low on charge. And you think of all them cars. Now think of actually how many charging units that they're going to need. Now, petrol pumps, what are there, 8 to 10 petrol pumps? You're going to need a lot more than that of charging units, of charge points, for the amount of people that's going to be in there if we're all in electric cars. So anyway, now just very quickly, I am at, where am I? What am I at? I'm just looking. I've got 129 miles of range left, and what I've done is the sat-nav in this actually plans it for you and tells me I can actually say I want 80% when I get to my destination, and it'll route me to a charger, but it is taking me out the way, and I've got a 49 minute wait while I'm charging up at the one point before I get to Leeds. So it all adds time onto your journey. Plus, got a little something else to tell you as well, but first I just need to get a bit further on. Come on, onwards. Right, okay, so my second gripe, and I know it's not all whinging, because I have to say I do really, really love this car, and I love electric cars. I love how they drive. I love how there's instant torque on them. I like how they've got the whir to them. They sound a bit futuristic. But, or however we should say, because there's always a but, isn't there? I think the sun's probably shining on the camera there. So anyway, you can hear me. Do you remember years ago on the TV, there'd be, make sure you turn the television set off at night. Only boil 1 cup of water if you're just going to have 1 cup of coffee. Only make sure you turn all the lights off. Don't leave any landing lights on, because you're trying to conserve power and you're trying to conserve the grid. So can you imagine now if everybody in the world literally is charging an electric car? I personally can't see it working, and plus they're not as eco-friendly as one would think, because at the moment it's fossil fuels that's powering the electric to put the charge in the car. So they're not as eco-friendly as you think they are. They're more expensive to start with, and the batteries are very difficult to dispose of, and also the lithium in the batteries as well is mined by, supposedly, and I don't know the facts on this, I have heard it spoken about, so you can tell me in the comment section down below, mined by young people, so, and younger children, so who's taken advantage of. It all doesn't stack up. So you've got your fossil fuels, you've got the disposal of the batteries only last for so long anyway. It doesn't seem to weigh up for me, and there's also just a couple of other little niggles that I've got. But if you are thinking of buying an electric car, an EV, then can I recommend it? Is it a good thing? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Anyway, come on, onwards. Right, now this is interesting, you see, because there's a massive traffic jam here on the M62. This is trying to reroute me to the M60 because there's a traffic jam, which has put an extra hour. I've ignored it because I don't particularly need the charge, but it's put an extra hour on my journey to reroute me now because it thinks I need the charge, and it knows I won't make it, because I told it I'd needed more charge when I got there. So it's rerouted me to Birch Services so I can get a charge in it, which has added another hour on the journey. I've obviously ignored it. I can figure out where I'm going to charge. I can charge when I get to Porsche and Leeds if needs be. But it's adding all on your journey. It's adding unneeded stress on your journey. So personally, from my experience so far, as I say, I love the way electric cars drive. I actually like the way they drive better than internal combustion engines. Let me get where I'm going right here. I want to go to Leeds, I don't want to go to Lee. It's just so difficult and adds it onto your journey. Personally, so far, I'm thinking maybe hybrids are maybe a way to go if you want to reduce pollution in the city, but then out of the city you can go back and change over to your internal combustion. But a car like this, which is totally 100% electric at the moment, I don't think it fits in to people's lifestyles. And also, it's very easy to say, well, you need a charger at home, which is fine. I've got one at the office in Mansfield. What if you live in a block of flats? How are you going to figure it out then? How's that going to work? You're going to start trailing wires over pavements? I don't know. It just all doesn't weigh up to me. I feel that we're being pushed into a technology that really, by the time that we have got battery technology, and battery technology advances that much, maybe we'll be flying in drones in the air and we won't need cars. I just don't think at this present time an all-electric car, and I know I'm probably going to get slated in the comment section down below. As I say, I love the way electric cars drive. It just doesn't seem to fit into people's lifestyles at the moment. Anyway, come on, onwards. Right, so it's actually tried to take me off there to Birch Services for 50 minutes at a 50 kilowatt charger, which I've just ignored again because I'm telling it I wanted more charge, which I do when I get to Leeds. I needed some more charge because I have to get back to Mansfield on Monday and I wanted my car charged, so I thought I'd just get it charged ready. However, I'm ignoring it because I want to try and get back before my little boy's in bed and my little girl is trying to take me back around this way now. It's literally, if I was that low on charge, I would have had to stop there at Birch Services on a slower charger. So it's all a bit of a game really, and it's a learning curve, I do understand. However, you've still got those solid staunch people who are like, yes, it's electric is the way forward. I'm on the wall here with this because I actually don't think it is. I think we're being pushed into something we don't really know if it's going to work or not, and the infrastructure definitely is not there yet. And what I have learned, and I hate to say this, sorry Porsche, I think if you're going to go electric, and the Porsche people who are watching me out there, I think Tesla's charge network is way better, and also their cars as well. You get more charge out of a Tesla car, and more miles, sorry, out of a charge on a Tesla car than you do out of this. I'm getting 200 miles at the moment, and I've got the extended range battery in this, and I'm getting 200 miles tops in winter, because in winter you get less miles out of a charge because it's cold, batteries don't like the cold, whereas a Tesla you're going to get a lot more range out of it. I'm down to 103 miles range now, so it's where are we going? Sorry, there's a queue ahead now. People are also asking that if you're stuck in a queue, you're taking charge up. It does actually take less charge because if you're not driving, it's not using power, so it's not like an internal combustion engine. So like I'm going to be in a traffic jam in a minute, I'm not too worried because I won't be using as much electricity. Anyway, well, I'm not going to say onwards because we're not going anywhere because there's a traffic jam. Right, well, so good job I didn't need to charge up. However, interestingly enough, I've now been in a traffic jam right here on the M62, and I've got 43% battery left and 91 miles range. That 43% has stayed exactly the same literally for the last 20 minutes to half an hour that I've been in this traffic jam. So it does show that obviously when I'm not driving the car and I'm in a traffic jam, unlike an internal combustion engine, unless I know it's got the auto switch off switch on thing now, but it still uses fuel at the same time. I thought that was another take on there, but it isn't. It's an internal combustion Panamera. Anyway, so let's wind this up because we're losing daylight now. I've still got another hour in traffic, so it's pretty good actually when we're not moving. So I've got 43% left. Rounding it up, I'm going to say, if you're thinking of getting an electric car, I like how they drive. I don't think at this moment in time, and it is just my opinion, tell me if you've already got an electric car, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think they're the future? Do you think they're just a bit of a fad at the moment that the government are pushing because they want to be seen to be going in the direction of being environmentally friendly, when the reality is that they're not as environmentally friendly as we think, but it does help obviously for the emissions in cities and built-up areas. I personally think hybrid is the way to go. That's just my personal opinion. Will I keep this electric car? Who knows? And keep an eye out next week for a video that I've got coming out, and it might answer the question whether or not I'll be keeping an electric car or not. Little teaser there for you. Look at this M62, absolute nightmare. Anyway, if you've got an electric car, if you're thinking of getting an electric car, pop it in the comment section down below. My opinion, my advice: go for a hybrid, don't go all electric at the moment, and if you do, and you do definitely want, I'd like to hear from some Tesla owners actually in the comment section down below on what range they get, etc. So there we go. Anyway, that's all from me today. I need the bathroom. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God, I need a wee. Right, just out of interest, I am actually back in Leeds with 33% and 70 miles left in my tank, and I'm going to use these Porsche, like these are turbo fast charging units, so I'm going to use this and see how quickly this charges up. Right, so 33%, the time is 4:43, so we'll come back to you in a minute and see how long it takes.
Moments later. More moments later. Eventually.
Right, so it was £33.27, that's with my Porsche discount card, and that was for 350 kilowatts, and as I say, 35 minutes there. £33.27, not overly cheap. Anyway, that's all from me. Got to go and pick up some food for dinner, so have a good one. Goodbye.